When we think about the spark that ignited the Crusades, we usually picture Pope Urban II making a sweeping declaration to European knights. But the real catalyst came from the East. Nomadic steppe warriors shattered the formidable Byzantine Empire at a battle the losers called that dreadful day. The First Crusade was a massive, desperate reaction to a shift in global power. The Seljuk Turks had arrived, and their expansion was rewriting the rules of the medieval world. This tactical diagram shows the Battle of Dondan Khan in 1040. Here, the Seljuks crushed the massive, heavily armed Ghaznavid state. They destroyed the wells in the desert and blocked their enemies' access to water until the thirsty, exhausted Ghaznavid army simply collapsed. But crushing an army in the desert is very different from running their cities. Nomadic tribes struggle to manage complex, settled territories without fracturing under the weight of their success. To survive, the Seljuks had to evolve instantly. They needed to pivot from tribal fighters living off the land into architects of permanent state institutions. Enter Nizam al-Mulk. He was the empire's grand vizier, and he recognized that swords win territory, but only systems keep it. To organize this tribal society, he wrote a master rulebook called the Siyasatnama, or the Book of Politics. This diagram shows the book's core pillars. Nizam al-Mulk mandated that government positions be assigned by merit and experience. He instituted aggressive anti-corruption audits and established a firm rule of law, where officials were formally advised on their mistakes before receiving punishment. He supported these rules with an active intelligence network to monitor government officials. If a bureaucrat performed well, they were rewarded immediately. If they neglected their duties, they were replaced or punished without delay. By strictly enforcing these rules, the Seljuks transitioned from a decentralized group of tribes into a hyper-organized, accountable administrative machine. However, a complex government machine requires thousands of highly educated administrators, clerks, and judges, specialists a nomadic society lacks. So Nizam al-Mulk built an engine to create them. He established the Madrasa Nizamiya, a state-sponsored institution that would change the trajectory of education. This chart breaks down the Nizamiya model. It integrated state funding, student dormitories, and academic scholarships with a standardized curriculum. This template was replicated across the empire, forming an interconnected network of colleges. This organized model of scholarship, combining state support with specific student benefits, provided the structural template that universities in both the Islamic world and Europe would follow for centuries. The stability of the empire also relied on an unexpected pillar, the administrative power wielded by the women of the dynasty. Figures like Altun Khan Hatun controlled their own personal treasuries and oversaw massive ikta, land grants that provided a direct financial base independent of the sultan. These women shaped domestic policy, they signed state treaties, and acted as regents. When necessary, they even commanded their own personal armies to physically suppress internal rebellions. By empowering female leaders as financial and military stakeholders, the Seljuks fortified their internal stability and effectively doubled their administrative reach. By 1071, this highly organized machine collided with the Old World. The Byzantine Empire was politically fractured, and its military was decaying. Emperor Romanus Diogenes marched east to eliminate the Seljuk threat. This map shows the front lines of the Battle of Manzikert. Here, the deteriorating Byzantine mercenary army met the hyper-organized Seljuk military machine. The Byzantines failed. Romanus split his forces, marched without light infantry for protection, and was ultimately betrayed by his own generals who abandoned the field. Romanus himself was captured. Manzikert proved the effectiveness of Seljuk organization. The victory opened the strategic region of Anatolia to permanent Turkish settlement. The outcome of Manzikert was devastating. It plunged the Byzantine Empire into a decade of civil war, leaving its leadership in a state of absolute panic. That panic led directly to the Byzantine plea for military aid from the Pope. That request accidentally triggered the First Crusade. The following centuries were defined by violent holy wars. Yet, beneath the conflict, the Seljuks' administrative and intellectual contributions were crossing borders anyway. While their military victories reshaped the medieval map, the Seljuks' most durable legacy is the organizational framework they embedded in the university system, the professional civil service, and the rules of ethical bureaucracy.